Hello guys, welcome back to my channel TMNJ. My name is Taras, coming to you with this video on depression and social groups. See, I already made a video on this, technically speaking, but I did not know that because the sun is so fucking hot outside, that, it'll really mess with, your phone. So I wasn't aware that, literally in the middle of me taking the video, my phone just tapped out, and I was like, shit, the, but that's alright though. So basically, when it comes down to depression, social groups, so I saw Native Spirit. Come down to depression, social groups. So, where does depression come from? When people talk about depression, when your parents are like, "You're okay," and you're like, "I'm depressed," and you're like, "No, you're not. Just get out of your mind." Like, okay, just get. I mean, I've had my family say, "Just get out of your head. Stop being in your head so much. This and that and this." Well, see, when a lot of depression comes from, literally, is because I've gone through it immensely. Especially when you awaken. Spiritually speaking, depression can go towards awakenings heavily as well. Some people actually kill themselves due to it because they just can't literally take it. But in most accounts, some accounts, it goes towards a lot of heavy awakening within self, which is awareness, which is, I explain what awakening is in my awakening video. But when it comes down to your thoughts and who you're around, your thoughts matter heavily. How you think about yourself and everything matters heavily towards what affects you, towards how your being is. Because again, your subconscious has control over 99% of your reality, basically all your reality, right? So when it comes down to it, what you say to yourself aloud, but your thoughts as well, they all can go towards how you feel within yourself. So it's the concept of, especially when you're in your mind so much, it's the factorization of, okay, why am I in my mind so much? What's triggering you to feel this way, right? Because again, depression internally is a high vibrational frequency on a very low level. Literally, it's been horrible. I've been through it in the most critical ways. I know how bad it can get. But I do know that also, given the music you listen to, people you're around, the things you look at on social media, YouTube and all, can do damage on, especially with your family. Family can also do damage based on how your mind progresses and all. With how it processes things and how you take information and everything, Sheesh. I was really taking it today. But yeah, so getting further into it, I noticed that in general, being negative towards yourself, towards your body, especially what you take in, what you eat as well, can also do harm to you, literally. Um, given experiencing it heavily, I noticed that one, having quote unquote no friends, society sort of kind of puts it as society is very cruel to people. It can be very cruel to people who are very antisocial, who don't really make friends easily, who are quote unquote weird, quote unquote. And I look at it now. I look at things right as, okay, if you're weird, you're just very unique. And there's the funny part though. No one's normal though. The society has a way of just putting people as okay, if you're normal, you're good, but if you're weird, you're an outcast. But a lot of people who are quote unquote weird are their own leaders. I've seen their own leaders, exceptionally intelligent, exceptionally amazing at doing whatever the hell they do, whether it be gaming, whether it be artistry, as I like to call it, being an artist, drawing, whatever the hell. They're exceptionally good at everything they do. Literally, at what they love to do. And they're called weird for that, for being not like any other individuals, because they're not being sheep. So society has a way of just getting other people, those sensations depressed, because they're just not part of the regular social standards of what is seen as normal. But again, nothing's normal whatsoever. So understand that. So if you guys are like, oh, I'm a weirdo, this and that, and this, be proud of that shit. Be proud of that shit. Because literally, it's what makes you you. Everyone is unique in their own way. You don't, being like, when it comes down to depression, right, everyone's like, oh, no, I'm not like this one, I'm not like that one, so I'm ostracized. Yeah, you're ostracized because you're not like anyone else, because you're your own individual, because you're not being a sheep. Literally. A lot of things, especially with myself, I've noticed that my depression went from not being like everyone else, being bullied and teased for being different, because I was entirely different from everyone else. My past lives were integrated into my being. A lot of times you'll act differently, you'll act oddly from other kids, other students, because again, your past lives integrate into your being, into your entity, to make up truly who you are. Dead ass. If you've had a lot of past lives to begin with, so I might look at the spider like at my book, and I'm like, I wonder if it'll go on me. Not being afraid, but like, nah, it's all right. But yeah, and I'd be like, hey, when it comes down to it, sometimes you've had so many past lives that all your past life traits and carry over from your over your lifetime to be in this one lifetime of yours. So you'll do a lot of things, whether it be physical or emotional or whatever the hell, or sometimes memory, some certain things that you do for anxiety or whatever the hell, or because you like doing it. It's not it's not what you naturally humanly do. It's from your other past lives that you've always done, or that you're used to doing back in whatever time era that the characteristic trait is from. Literally, understand that. But also understand that when it comes down to it, music does take effect heavily. Music takes I'm gonna get to everything. Music takes heavy effect on everything, not just the society. As society goes towards promoting a lot of just, especially in music, even though there's like the nice, songs, there's a lot of what I've seen is a lot of rap, a lot of just guns, drugs, hoes, bitches, this and that and this. Not really positivity that's really going into your mind. It's just a lot of a lot of negativity. It kind of does spark depression. That's like, okay, if you're not rich, if you're not wealthy, then some people I've seen are on a very low vibrational mindset they can get depressed, like, oh, I don't have it, or it's not, and this, when it's like, that's literally not the mindset you're supposed to be. If you want to be abundant, depression isn't the way to go. Literally, it limits you heavily. I'm not saying to not be depressed, but more so the concept that, hey, when you heal from things, so again, there's a lot of healing that goes into place. When you heal, you come to understand all these different things. But back to music, though. I noticed that, for example, Juice WRLD, XXXTentacion, I think, who else? Crap. It wasn't Lil Xan. One of the other rappers. I forget his name. Their music at times can be very good, but at times like can be very can set you in a very low vibrational frequency. Because understand that, hey, words and thoughts emit a lot of power. What you say to someone can emit a lot of power towards them, especially the way you say it to them can emit a lot of energy. Everything you say emits energy. Any sort of what I'm saying right now, I'm emitting a certain vibration. It's emitting energy towards you. So you're all picking up on exactly what I'm saying. You're all feeling exactly what I'm saying, because I'm emitting a lot of energy right now towards speaking, right? So when it comes down to it, a lot of lyricists aren't really, a lot of artists aren't necessarily careful with what they really say. Even though, yes, it's you're expressing yourself, but also the concept that, hey, like, for example, Righteous from Juice WRLD, that song, I mean, again, I'm not gonna say I don't like Juice WRLD. Every artist has their own way of being talented, right? But same account though, that song, like, if you really listen to it and you really like it and you play it like 3 times, and so you have it on loop to a certain degree, it kind of programs your mind to be on a very depressed, low vibrational frequency that isn't good whatsoever. Trust me, it was horrible. when like I literally went through it myself. I was like, whoa. Well, like when I literally had to step back from all the rap, all the shit I was listening to, and really understand that what it's programming your mind to do, how it's programming your thoughts to be, like just being negative, just being like, incredibly like just it's horrible. And then there's a concept of friend groups as well, because again, your friend groups may literally listen to music that doesn't really bring you up at all either. It like to as I learned as I awakened, I learned that depression can heavily come from your friends, heavily, because again, it's like an energy link that is occurring when you're with friends. So let me say this: if you're around 4 people in a room, 4 people, you included, well, so that'd be 5. So if you're around four other people in a room besides yourself, right? All of you are linked to it. Oh, the hawk. Um, when all of you are in the inner room, right? You're all linked by literally your thoughts and emotions. All of your feelings and thoughts are linked to one another. So, whatever one person is thinking, another person might be thinking, another person might be thinking, and the next person might be thinking. It'll cause a chain reaction with all individuals around you, even you with yourself. So let me put this for example, right? So I was at a friend's house one night. We were smoking, right? Or rather, we were about to smoke. Mate had a partner, and she was, in my own perspective, not the best looking. And she was saying something, and then like I had my legs like not crossed, just open. Because when you put your legs I'll put that in spiritual protection video. But there's a way to spiritually protect yourself when you're around people. There's various ways to spiritually protect yourself. But what I did was I crossed my legs, but I had my legs open, and I just was part of the energy link. I was part of the link, and I was all right, cool. And I basically experienced it on myself. And subconsciously, not trying to do it, mind you, not trying to consciously do it. And I was hearing such thoughts that were like, "You ugly fat bitch," and I was like, "Hold up a second, that's not me. I don't say that shit. What's going on here?" And I looked, and like my intuition was like, "It's her. It's coming from her." And I was like, "Damn, my God!" To myself, was like, "Yeah, it's coming from her." Like cross off, like my sister. Oh my God, she was like, "Cross off your legs." Just like block the link. And I blocked the link, all the negative thoughts just left. Because again, I was positive. I was pretty positive, and she just became it was bad. I was like, wow, so that really is a thing. Again, Naruto they literally shows how when his chakra is linked to everyone else in the fourth ninja war, right? Or fourth great ninja war, my bad. It showed that him and Shikamaru, right, were he was hearing him, Shikamaru, Choji, Sakura, yeah, the entire group in the one scene, they were showing how like just by them being linked to his chakra, despite their chakra being on them, despite his chakra being on them, they were all linked to him hearing his thoughts of how he feels. Everyone in the Allied Shinobi forces was hearing his thoughts of how he feels within himself towards everyone as comrades, right? Because again, the energy link, literally, your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, everything it comes out when energy links to someone else. That's why again, you'll notice that when you're around a depressed friend, right? If you're happy and positive, right? If you're really like in a close, especially being close proximity towards them, very close proximity towards them. Termites are killing me. Dang, this pollen is really fucking me up. Oh, it's all like all over me too. That's beautiful. It's all right though. And what happened is what'll happen is based on the depressed individual's thoughts, you'll begin to hear telepathically. Your thoughts will begin to be linked, and your thoughts will go from from positive to negative to a bit negative to somewhat negative thoughts, and your feeling will go from like high to like a bit low. Literally, like you'll notice it within yourself if you're really aware of how you're feeling within yourself. You'll notice it that you'll go from talking positively to like negatively. And it's not. It won't be a good thing whatsoever. It's not. It's horrible. I've had it happen to me before. It isn't good, literally at all. Um, but yeah, and then yeah, there's when it comes down to depression social groups, also the concept of how your group, how the people you're around. Be very aware of that. Be very aware of people you're around. How, if what they do, how they move, like what they talk about, what they're literally on. Because like a lot of people. Because let me say this, I used to have friends who were all about trapping, right? All about trapping and like getting a plug and like literally like being like, yo, I need to get this trap because like I need to eat and shit like that, and like literally like they depended on selling weed to someone just so they could get like dinner or like some food in their stomachs. That's how bad it was. And when it came down to things, me being around such individuals, it lowered my vibrational frequency heavily, heavily. Lowered my thought process of the way I thought about things, my outlook on things sometimes, everything. And when I just dropped them all, I realized that, okay, they were addicts. And they were depressed addicts, doing Xans, doing all these things just to feel good within themselves because they didn't feel good at all. They felt very low within themselves. They felt like other people were better than them. So they had to take just so they could, thrive. So it came down to things that did heavily influence my depression as well. Because again, when the people you keep around you will kind of aid in your mindset of self-betterment, of doing better or doing worse. Literally. Because some people literally will drain your energy so you'll be depressed. Energy vampires do exist. So yeah, they drain your energy as much as they possibly can. Sometimes they do it consciously, sometimes they do it unconsciously without knowing. And you'll literally feel like shit. And it'll go towards that. And there's a factorization of not people not understanding you, all those things. And I understand that when you're going through an awakening, or when you're depressed going through an awakening, or just depressed in general, understand that, okay, hey, you shape your reality. You can choose not to be depressed, or rather, more so to say, in most accounts, it comes from your traumas and damages. So again, what you're feeling within self. Now, I used to go towards being in the past and being in the present, right? But then I noticed that, okay, I was more in the past than the present. That's not really good. Being in the present is better than anything ever. Literally. Because in the present moment, you're not riding a dirt bike in the present, right? You're just sitting down eating a bowl of cereal. You're sitting down watching TV. You're not in the present moment. You're not doing, okay, well, I was doing that last weekend. That's last weekend. That's not now. That's in the past. That's not the present moment. Say, oh, what you doing, man? Oh, I'm like, you're just laying in bed. You're just laying in bed. Literally, that's all you're doing. Like, that's the present moment right there. That's not the past. Understand that. So when it comes down to it, especially, I used to look at things in the perspective of being the past and present is good, but also understand that depression can come from a lot of trauma and hurt from within self. And a lot of trauma and hurt can come from the past. So it is highly significant for any and all individuals to heal their trauma and hurt from the past. Because trust me when I say, it does a high amount of damage towards all of you. Rather, it can do a high amount of damage towards all of you. Of how you're feeling, of who you're around, this and that and this, what you do, what actions you take, your attitude, your behavior. Everything can literally stem from your traumas and damage that a lot of people in the society overlook. The society really likes to overlook the concept of your hurt and your damage and your trauma, and just likes to just move on and just be impulsive and impatient, and just not have people heal. So then it creates a cycle of depression and just horrible trauma within all cycles of lineage. It's horrible. It is fucking horrible. So that's why when it comes down to it, I'd say, okay, if you're feeling a certain way, right? Feel depressed. I mean, I wouldn't recommend. I really see some people recommend therapy, but again, I didn't do therapy at all. I just healed my own self. I don't. My recommendation would be shadow work, which I'll do a video on shadow work, but it's literally journaling, right? Whenever you feel a certain way, this is what I do, right? What's helped me to healing. This will help me to heal. One, changing the friends I had. Two, never feeling a certain way, going on ahead, right? And journaling down, writing down exactly what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling, and what's causing this feeling to even occur. Literally. What triggered it, how can it be solved? What's the solution towards it? The higher realization that you'll come to with the conclusion of to the higher understanding of, literally. Which helps a lot because, again, trauma and damage can go to a lot towards getting the music you listen to, everything. People you're around, how you respond to certain individuals, how you react to people, this and that and this. It can do a lot of damage. I was saying the show. It can also go towards the shows you watch, what you actually like about doing, how you look at your body, how it reflects a lot when it comes down to your past. So again, I'd recommend healing a lot of your past, but also the concept of when it comes down to your friends as well. Look at who the fuck your friends are and how they honestly raise your awareness, raise your fucking awareness. Look at who your friends are, honestly speaking, what they do. Look at what they do, how they are, how they act, how they talk to you in general. Because if they don't talk to you with respect, and they give you saying a stupid ass nickname, they don't say your name properly or correctly, or they don't say your name at all. Understand that whatever name they've given you, every nickname you come up with, right, has a vibrational frequency towards it, right? Given the intention you set with that nickname. So I remember way back when I called myself Scooby, right? Scooby it didn't go to a positive kind of connotation at all. Kind of went to a negative connotation of vibrational frequency, which is why I no longer have people call me that whatsoever, because it's so trashy and negative. Not saying the name is, but the intention, the manifestation I put towards the name wasn't a high vibrational frequency at all. It was a very low vibrational frequency. Every name has a vibrational frequency towards it. Every name carries a different vibration. Your name emits a certain vibration, certain energies towards it. Literally, everyone's name carries a certain vibration, depending on the intention that's set from your parents as well, as because your parents are the ones who named you. So based on the intention that your parents set on the vibration of your name, will go towards shit. It'll kind of go towards the effect on what comes to you, right? So, for example, a name like Heaven, right? If your parents choose a name like Heaven, sorry, I'm getting very off topic, but I'm just gonna go over this real quick. If your parents choose a name like Heaven, right? That name will emit, especially with this certain intention of God and this and that and this external shit, right? Whatever the hell they thought towards when they come up with the name, right? When it comes down to it, that name will emit a certain vibrational frequency that will go towards a lot of different things. Literally, and every name emits a certain vibrational frequency, especially the vibration. I'm not getting into all of that, but in general speaking, no, yes. So when it comes down to it, make sure you're respectful as friends. Look at the concept of how your friends are, who you're around, what you're listening to, what you're watching, how your attitude is, everything. Because again, even your parents, even your own family can affect your depression. Even your parents can affect how you feel within self. If you feel like you're good enough, if you feel like you are lesser of an individual, if they abuse you in whatever sort of way, even your parents can literally do a lot of damage towards that. A high amount of damage towards that. Trust me, I've seen it. It's not healthy. It's not pretty. And also understand what you eat. Again, what you eat takes a lot of damage. Does a lot of damage to you. Because again, what they say, what you eat is what makes you you, or rather, something about what you eat. You are what you eat, right? So I noticed that when it comes down to depression, especially depression, one, or rather in general speaking, I remember I used to eat certain foods like that. Back when I was incredibly depressed, I'd eat meat. Meat is what literally set me off. Yeah, meat is what set me off. Eating meat, because again, I didn't see what I wasn't aware of is that again, when animals are killed, right, in these factories, in these places, they're killed in the most horrific, traumatic, horrifying, torturous fucking ways. They're just beaten to death, abused, tortured, murdered in the worst fucking ways. Like I literally have seen a video where it's like they literally hold the animal's neck down, like hold the animal's neck with their foot, and like literally just have someone take a baseball bat and just fucking like a metal baseball bat and just hit it until it's dead, literally, like it's that bad. In some accounts, they'll literally throw the animal into like some sort of blender. Like I mean, literally, they won't be dead. They'll throw it into the blend into like this big ass blender without giving a fuck about it. Like they do horrible, traumatic ass things. Even the pigs, the baby pigs, like they don't have a care in the world for these animals. So understand that when you are eating, especially when you take into your body, it affects you psychologically and emotionally. It will affect you greatly. So again, when I stopped eating meat, my depression went from 100 to like fucking 0. Literally, when I stopped eating meat, because like my body was like, yo, this shit is harmful to us, extremely fucking harmful to us. Now mind you, it's one thing if you kill the animal respectfully, right, and like slit its throat or some shit like that, whilst like it's looking at you. So basically, it's like you're showing that you're not dying alone. Like I respect you. I'm killing you for like to aid myself in survival. You're being used for a good purpose instead of just killing them in a torturous ass, murderous ass way and giving the animal horrible anxiety, horrible pain. So you're tasting that in all your food that you're eating, all the meat that you're eating. That's what you're tasting. So when it comes down to a lot of depression, what you eat, especially heavily meat, heavily fucking goes into what you feel within your own self. Understand that, because all those toxins of them being anxious and just the trauma and the damage and the pain and the suffering, you're tasting all those hormones, all that shit in the meat that you're eating on the dinner table. You're tasting all that shit. Now see, a lot of people who eat meat, who get depressed, whatever the fuck, don't look at the concept of like what the fuck they're taking into their systems, what they're taking into their bodies. They don't. When you look at these videos and understand like, okay, this is what I'm taking to my body, this and that and this, you're also raising your awareness to understand this is also part of what's making you feel a certain way. Literally. With that being said though, so social groups, energy links, energy vampires, music, journaling, writing in any Discord. Yeah, I should do it for this video. I'll be doing a video on most likely shadow work and spiritual protection as well. Later on in time though, maybe tomorrow or the day after. It depends when I feel like my guys are like, yeah, you can do a video today. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, depression can do a lot of damage, especially when it can lead a lot of different ways. It affect you in a lot of different ways. So you don't eat, you don't sleep, or you sleep more, or you eat more, not because you want to eat more, because you're eating out of being depressed. Look, when it comes down to healing, especially healing is the best thing to do when you're depressed. Healing, trying to heal the wounds that are. Because trust me, when I say that shit is heavy on you. Your past traumas, your damages, what your parents did to you when you were younger, how you were treated by other individuals, it all adds up to how you feel within yourself. Trust me, I was bullied for years. So, a lot of that shit, even past life traumas and damages that you may not even know about, can go towards how you feel within yourself. Literally. So, that being said, I love you guys. You guys have a beautiful, 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 beautiful day. It's so amazing outside right now. It's going to be such an amazing year. Even though COVID is still kicking people's asses, though, it's going to be such an amazing year. I love all of you, and stay tuned for my next videos. Like and subscribe for more. Comment if you want to, if you choose to. I may be posting another video on astro traveling soon. I might try to astro travel again soon. Depends if I'm free or not. If I'm not busy. School work and all. But yes. And hold up a second. Before I cut this video off, on a very positive, peaceful note. Sorry, that's my yoga mat right there. Look at all this nature. Like, look at all that green. Look at all of that. Look at all this peaceful, beautiful nature. See, when you're depressed, it's great to be outside in nature because it helps you so much. Nature is healing. Don't be in your fucking room. Don't be sleeping all. Don't try to. Don't. Even though you might want to sleep all the goddamn time, don't be in your room. Just be outside. You might not want to be outside, but go the fuck outside. You gotta force yourself the fuck outside because it feels so amazing. So damn amazing. All the plants. It is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. With that being said, I love you guys. Ashimosu in Japanese. And Jana, goodbye. Oh! No. No! Oh my God.